Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Liz Reddy. Today's top stories. The Taoiseach has ruled out the possibility of an Irish general election before Christmas. A man is due in court later today in connection with an arson attack in the Mount Sion Avenue area of Waterford City at the weekend. More than 2,500 students are graduating at Waterford Institute of Technology this week. And in sport, Ballygunner take on 6 Mile Bridge in the Munster Hurling Club quarter-final on Sunday. The Taoiseach has ruled out the possibility of an Irish general election before Christmas. Leo Varadkar had been under pressure to go to the polls while there's a lull in the Brexit process and an election in the UK. Our political correspondent, Sean Defoe, has more.
Pressure had been mounting on Leo Varadkar to call an early election as voters in the UK go to the polls. The Fine Gael TDs and ministers in favour of an early election argued that the party was on the up thanks to Brexit and that Fianna Fáil are dealing with a bloody nose after Votegate. But Leo Varadkar absolutely ruled out a snap election during a meeting of Fine Gael ministers this morning. One said it was made clear the Taoiseach's preferred date is May 2020 and not in November dash to the polls. It would have been a difficult sell, having portrayed themselves as a party of stability, for Fine Gael to cause an election based on perceived political opportunity. 4 by-elections, however, will still need to go ahead next month, with the writ for those expected to be moved next week.
A man is due in court later today in connection with an arson attack in the Mount Sion Avenue area of Waterford City at the weekend. A car was set on fire in the early hours of Sunday morning, causing damage to 2 houses. Gardaí arrested the man yesterday. He's expected to be charged with criminal damage at Waterford District Court later. More than 2,500 students are graduating at Waterford Institute of Technology this week. The first of 11 ceremonies took place this morning, with students receiving awards up to doctorate level. President of WIT, Professor Willie Donnelly, says it's a big day for students and their families.
It's also an important day for the Institute. It's a very important day for the region because we're graduating more than 2,700 students over the next 3 days. And, you know, they contribute to the economy. Highly qualified students attract companies into the region. And while a lot of them will go abroad, will travel, I hope many of them will come back to the opportunities that are in Waterford and the region. And, of course, many have already got a job in the region. So it's good news. It's a great day.
It's a special day for Ray O'Hanlon from Tramore and his family.
I'm graduating in the Higher Cert in Business, which is a 2-year course. We're going to go on and hopefully then do a degree course, which is another 2 years. So stepping stone along the way. Well, it's a great day because our son is graduating as well. He's actually finished his degree in Business and Chinese, so he's graduating in the next session. It's a fabulous day. Yeah, we've actually had 3 of our kids have graduated from the WIT, and we have 1 more in the WIT at the moment as well. So it's fabulous, yeah.
Grania Deline graduated from the Masters of Business.
It was a bit intense, but actually really worthwhile. It's good to get back to education after such a gap. I didn't do my undergraduate here, so I didn't have experience of WIT before, but it's a great education institute. The lecturers are all very friendly and similarly the classmates. So yeah, really great experience. I just felt like the world of marketing is what I do has changed, so it's good to kind of upskill and re-educate myself on all things new.
Planning notice for the second cath lab at University Hospital Waterford's been published. It includes a specialist procedures room, a preparation and recovery room, diagnostic facilities and ancillary accommodation. Waterford Fianna Fáil TD Mary Butler is hoping the planning process will go smoothly.
I don't envisage any major problems in relation to objections, and I hope we don't go down that road that people will object to it, because it's very important that we get this cath lab up and running as soon as possible.
She says the time frame is 12 to 16 months for completion.
So we have asked the Minister and the HSE to push this project forward as quickly as possible so that there will be absolutely no delays, because it's so important that we have the second cath lab up and running. We're also waiting for the results from the National Review, and hopefully that will be positive towards Waterford, UHW and the South East, so we can see an immediate extension of ours. That's the most important thing for us. It's all positive steps going forward. I know a lot of people feel that it has been very, very slow, and I accept that, but I do believe today should be acknowledged as a positive step forward.
The government's being urged to invest millions of euro in additional funding in community drug projects. 9 of the country's former drugs ministers have come together warning the current strategy isn't working. They're concerned local groups are being left out of decision making and have suffered a number of cuts over the last few years. John Curran was drugs minister in 2009 and says funding needs to be significantly boosted.
The total task forces are getting currently 28 million between them, and I'm saying that if they were to get another, say, maybe 3 million a year per year for a couple of years, that would allow them maintain, that would allow them secure the projects that are in place.
10-year-old County Waterford girl with cerebral palsy who sued over the circumstances of her birth at South Tipperary General Hospital has settled her High Court action. Under the settlement, Clodagh Walsh from Kilbrine, Ballinamult, has secured a $1.5 million interim payment to cover her care for the next 6 years. The Irish Examiner reports that after that the case will return to the court for future care needs to be assessed. It was alleged there was a failure to properly manage the labour of Clodagh mother and failure to deliver the baby within 30 minutes. Mr Justice Cross was told liability was admitted in the case. He commended Clodagh's parents for the way they've taken care of her and said they were acting in her best interests in accepting an interim settlement. A Waterford councillor says nothing effective has been done to stop flooding at St Declan Cemetery in Tramore. The graveyard, which was opened in 2004 and is maintained by Waterford Council, is prone to flooding after heavy rainfall. Independent councillor Joe Conway says works have been carried out over the years, but the issue hasn't been properly addressed.
In fairness, a considerable body of work was done in putting down singage holes on the seaside of the cemetery, but it's not working, and the problem is that on the north side of the graveyard you still have serious flooding in certain areas, and a lot of that part that is flooded is a part of the graveyard that is in current use and is proposed to be in current use for some time to come. We're getting lots of procrastination and promises, but nothing tangible so far.
The Broad Street Centre in Waterford City is on the market at a guide price of €5 million. The premises was purchased in 2016 for over €5 million. 65% of the scheme is occupied by tenants including H. Samuel Jewellers, Mountain Warehouse, AIB Bank, Irish Life and Foot Locker. There are also 18 basement-level car parking spaces. Another property owned by the same developer in Waterford, the Musgrave Business Park, is also for sale. It's on the Kilbarry Road on the Outer Ring Road and was developed in 2009. It's fully let to Musgrave Limited and The Range. Gardaí in County Waterford are reminding people that fireworks are illegal. As people celebrate in the lead up to Halloween, Gardaí are warning the combination of children, fireworks and alcohol can make for dangerous situations. Sergeant Pat Kerwin is from Dungarvan Garda Station.
I just remind people that fireworks aren't actually illegal in this country and they're classed as explosives. And if you're caught with them, you can end up in court. But besides that, it's the danger of fireworks as well. You can have good quality ones and bad quality ones. Bad quality ones could be talking about these small cat bangers which just create a loud noise. But again, there's an explosive charge in them. The fuses might be faulty in them, they might go quicker, they might not explode at the time. You go picking them up and next thing they explode in your hand.
WLR Sport.
Ballygunner make the long journey to 6 Mile Bridge for Sunday's Munster Club quarter-final. Throw-in is at 1:30 in O'Garney Park. Gunners boss Darragh O'Sullivan says they'll be hitting the road early on Sunday.
I shall listen, look, we'll probably hit the road about 7:30 in the morning, which is going to be difficult. The lads are probably going to be up at 6:30, you know what I mean? So certainly that is a challenge, but... and we don't have too much experience of doing those long journeys with the club. I think the county lads would have, you know what I mean? And if you look at the last number of years in Munster Championship, I think the furthest we've travelled is probably to Thurles, you know what I mean? Which is strange, just the way it has fallen. But certainly, the extra challenge is on Sunday regards how we will prepare for the match,
And WLR will broadcast the game with commentary team Tomas McCarthy and Shane Ahern, thanks to George Corbett-Skoda. Chelsea head into tonight's League Cup match on the back of 7 successive wins in all competitions. They host Manchester United at Stamford Bridge in the last 16. Liverpool, who are unbeaten domestically, welcome Arsenal to Anfield. Republic of Ireland under-21 international Caoimhín Kelleher will start in goal for the hosts, and there's local bragging rights up for grabs in the night's other game when Aston Villa entertain Wolves. Davy Roach, the head man at Henry de Bromhead's yard at Knockeen in County Waterford, won the In the Saddle accolade at the Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff Awards last night. He's been with the stable for over 10 years and played a significant role in the many big race successes during that time. Jockey Rachel Blackmore nominated him for the award.
It's brilliant to be nominated and to actually win it against the other 2 lads who were in it. It was amazing. I should say it's an easy job. When the horses are winning and they're running well and you're winning big races, it's easy to go into the yard. And sure, at the minute we are flying, and hopefully we can keep it up.
Group 1 winners Sizing Europe, Special Tiara and Manila Indo were all under his care, and David says Manali is one to look for.
You'd have to hope that Manila Indo will go to the top, but I'd have a soft spot for Manali, so I'll go with Manali.
That's the latest on WLR. Our next bulletin is at 2.